Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that is just, well, it's truly mesmerizing. We are breaking down what I can only describe as a master blueprint. It's this highly detailed text prompt, specifically designed to generate a full 15-minute, ultra-realistic 3D cinematic animation. So we're not just talking about a brief, vague concept here. This is a comprehensive, literal shot-by-shot directive telling an AI or rendering engine exactly how to build the world's most luxurious palace hotel right from the ground up.
Okay, let's dive into this. How do you actually render the ultimate luxury experience? Like, how does a creator take a single, incredibly dense text prompt and use it to dictate an absolutely flawless virtual world, all inspired by stunning Indian royal architecture? Well, today we're going to unpack exactly how this digital masterpiece is constructed. We're going step by step, scene by scene, and constraint by constraint.
Section 1, the grand architectural vision, establishing the scene.
You know, any great cinematic animation needs a really strong opening, right? And this blueprint, it sets a super grandiose tone from the very first frame. The script literally demands a breathtaking sunrise over the palace. So as the virtual sun comes up, a drone camera takes flight. And I want you to just imagine the sensory details this prompt strictly requires for the landscape. We aren't just generating a building here, we're generating an entire ecosystem. The drone flyover has to capture these lush green gardens, sparkling fountains, and perfectly reflective pools framed by palm trees. Then, as we get closer to the majestic entrance, the architecture gets hyper-specific. Grand marble pathways leading right up to golden domes, elegant arches, and intricate carvings that beautifully, flawlessly emulate traditional Indian royal architecture.
Now, let's look at how the prompt actually choreographs the opening action. The camera movement is mapped out with just incredible precision. Step 1 is that sweeping drone flyover of the gardens we just talked about. Step 2 kind of grounds us, bringing luxury cars arriving super smoothly at the entrance. Moving into Step 3, the prompt dictates that professional hotel staff, dressed in elegant uniforms of course, warmly welcome the arriving guests. And finally, Step 4, bellboys carefully handling the premium luggage. It's fascinating because this isn't just about rendering beautiful buildings, you know? The prompt is actively establishing a flawless atmosphere of traditional Indian hospitality right there at the front door.
Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate guest experience, entering the palace. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how the creator seamlessly transitions the camera from that grand exterior right into the intimate, highly detailed interiors. As these smiling guests walk inside, the rendering engine suddenly has to unpack this incredibly dense list of interior amenities. The lobby literally must feature giant crystal chandeliers, polished marble floors, handcrafted artwork, and fresh flowers, all of it bathed in the soft golden lighting. And as the camera smoothly explores the luxurious suites, it's commanded to render king-size beds, handcrafted wooden furniture, marble bathrooms, and these private balconies with panoramic windows that look back out onto spectacular garden and city views. It's honestly like a closed loop of absolute perfection, designed to give these virtual guests a flawless, totally immersive experience. Which brings us to Section 3, Luxury, Leisure, and Wellness, a day in the life.
So, after checking in, the whole pacing of our cinematic animation shifts, kind of slowing down to follow a guest's relaxing journey through these world-class facilities. The blueprint actually maps out the progression of the day pretty meticulously. The morning starts off with a world-class breakfast buffet. We're talking international cuisine, fresh fruits, desserts, and authentic Indian dishes, all prepared by master chefs at live cooking stations. Then, midday transitions into a peaceful luxury spa. And by the afternoon, the scene drifts outdoors to an infinity swimming pool overlooking those beautiful gardens we saw earlier, where families are relaxing, kids are safely enjoying the water, and couples are just taking in the peaceful surroundings. Let's actually slow down for a second and look really closely at those spa requirements. The prompt specifically calls for, quote, relaxing massages, aromatic candles, wellness therapies, and calming interiors. Now, think about that. Every single word in this text block is a direct cue for the rendering engine to adjust the lighting, the textures, and the whole atmosphere. The aromatic candles imply a shift to warmer, much softer light. The calming interiors suggest a complete departure from the grand, highly polished marble of the lobby into something way more organic and serene. The creator is literally baking sensory luxury right into the text. All right, Section 4, Extravagant Events in Dining, the Royal Wedding. So, from the super quiet relaxation of the spa, we are going to build the energy right back up. And this brilliantly illustrates how the prompt suddenly escalates from private leisure to something massive.
We are now tasked with rendering an extravagant royal wedding. Think about the computational heavy lifting here. The system has to generate a magnificent ballroom, thousands, literally thousands of individual flowers, crystal chandeliers, elegant dining tables, live music, and a huge crowd of joyful guests celebrating. That is a massive amount of moving parts, light reflections, and just pure data processing happening all at the exact same time.
To really make this world feel alive, the prompt creates this super sharp contrast in environments. On one side, you've got the high-energy, totally flawless service of the bustling gourmet kitchen. You've got award-winning chefs rapidly preparing fine dining dishes using fresh, premium ingredients. But then, you contrast that with the tranquil, landscaped gardens just outside. Out there, it's all lotus ponds, peaceful walking paths, artistic fountains, outdoor lounges, and photographers quietly capturing memories. It's just a complete masterclass in virtual world building, perfectly showing both the peaceful front-of-house vibe and the industrious, high-speed magic happening behind the scenes. And adding even more to this narrative depth is a grand cultural evening right out in the palace courtyard. The animation is required to showcase traditional Indian dancers performing alongside musicians, everyone wearing these magnificent costumes, all while the guests are applauding the vibrant performances. So at this point, it isn't just an architectural tour anymore, right? It has become a living, breathing cultural event taking place inside the architecture. It really deepens that immersive world building.
Moving to Section 5, the cinematic nightfall illuminating the masterpiece.
As our virtual day starts to wind down, the prompt dictates a truly grand nighttime transformation. This evening timeline acts as our guide right through the sunset transition. First, the camera takes us up to a rooftop restaurant for a candlelit dinner beneath a sky full of stars, complete with live classical music and these breathtaking panoramic views. Then, as true night finally sets in, the entire palace starts glowing with thousands of golden lights. And the prompt is specific. These lights have to reflect beautifully across all the fountains and water pools. Finally, by late night, we get this spectacular departing drone shot, paired with soft fireworks in the sky.
But here is a wild detail. Even as the camera focuses on the glowing exterior architecture, and we're getting these sweeping aerial shots from every angle, the prompt absolutely insists the simulation continues inside. The text explicitly notes that guests are still actively enjoying luxury shopping, relaxing in elegant lounges, having private dining experiences, and receiving personalized concierge service. Basically, the creator is ensuring that the premium hospitality inside the palace doesn't just pause or disappear just because the camera is looking at the outside. The whole shebang has to stay active.
And that brings us to the ultimate visual climax of the animation. The story concludes with this spectacular drone shot, slowly pulling away. We see the brilliantly illuminated palace in all its glory, the dancing fountains, and those soft fireworks lighting up the night sky. The prompt just beautifully states that the magnificent hotel shines like a royal dream. It's the perfect ending to the narrative.
Finally, Section 6, the technical blueprint, rendering the dream.